The 30-06 Springfield. If there is a single cartridge that speaks fluent American history, this is the one. This is the round that stormed the beaches of Normandy. It marched us through 2 world wars and came out on the other side as an absolute legend. It earned its stripes as a precision solution in the hands of snipers when the stakes were life and death. And when we start talking about ballistic versatility, the 30-06 is basically the gold standard by which all other hunting cartridges are measured. You can load this thing down for varmint work on coyotes, or you can load it hot for the heaviest North American big game you can find in the backcountry. It is a do-it-all workhorse that just flat-out solves problems. Today, we are taking a hard look at some of the absolute best platforms chambered in 30-06. Every rifle on this table brings a different flavor to the fight. So let's get downrange and break them down. Ruger American now. The Ruger American series has carved out a massive chunk of the market in just over 10 years. This platform proved that you could bring modern engineering to a bolt action, without forcing the average shooter to take out a second mortgage. The centerpiece here is the Ruger Marksman Adjustable Trigger. It is a crisp 2-stage design that allows the user to adjust the pull weight anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds. That gives you total control over that break weight, without needing to drop cash on aftermarket drop-in kits right out of the gate. Up at the business end, you are looking at a cold hammer-forged barrel. It is machined from 4140 chrome moly steel. It runs a 22-inch length with a 1 in 10 twist rate. That twist rate is the sweet spot for stabilizing a huge variety of 30-06 projectiles, from light copper solids all the way up to heavy match-grade lead. The bolt itself uses a one-piece 3-lug architecture with a short 70-degree throw. That short lift is crucial because it keeps your knuckles clear of your optic bell and speeds up your cycling time between shots. The chassis is a lightweight synthetic stock. That keeps the total package fighting weight down to just 6.2 pounds. They also throw in a factory-installed Picatinny rail, so you are optics ready the second you open the box. Ruger even offers packages with a Vortex Crossfire 2 scope mounted at the factory. That makes this essentially a plug-and-play solution for the field. Dollar for dollar. The Ruger American in 30-06 is a heavyweight contender. It is accurate, it is light to carry all day, and it delivers serious terminal performance without draining your wallet. Browning Bar Mark III. Moving on to the Browning Bar Mark III. This is where old-school craftsmanship shakes hands with modern semi-auto technology. The Bar lineage goes back decades, and the Mark III shows exactly why this platform refuses to retire. It operates on a gas-driven long-stroke piston system. That mechanism does a phenomenal job of taming the recoil impulse of the 30-06. It turns a heavy recoiling round into a smooth shooter, allowing for extremely fast follow-up shots if your first round doesn't seal the deal. The action locks up tight with a 7-lug rotating bolt head. That is an exceptionally strong lockup, which is why the Bar was one of the pioneers in running Magnum cartridges in a semi-auto chassis comfortably. In this current generation, Browning moved to detachable box magazines on specific models. However, the 30-06 variants generally stick to the classic hinged floor plate design. It keeps the underside smooth and maintains that familiar manual of arms for the traditionalists among us. And we have to be honest about the aesthetics. Part of the reason you buy a Bar is the fit and finish. You get rich walnut furniture, deep blued steel, and a level of polish that stands out in a world full of matte black plastic. It is a rifle that runs like a modern tactical machine, but carries the soul of a heritage deer rifle. Winchester Model 70 Featherweight. When you hear people talk about the rifleman's rifle, they are talking about the Winchester Model 70. This legend dropped in 1936. And while it has seen tweaks over the years, the DNA remains the same. The reputation here is built on absolute reliability and perfect balance when you are humping it through the woods. The Featherweight model earns that title honestly. It tips the scales right between 6.5 and 7 pounds, but it never feels fragile in the hands. The action locks up like a bank vault. The rifle shoulders instinctively, and that combination of polished steel and walnut gives you that timeless look of a serious hunting iron. The accuracy potential starts with the barrel geometry. Winchester uses a free-floating cold hammer-forged barrel. It is a 22-inch tube that really lets the 30-06 stretch its legs and burn all that powder efficiently. The trigger is their single-stage MOA trigger system. It is rugged enough to handle field abuse, but breaks cleanly enough for precision work at distance. You have a 5-round capacity fed from the top into an internal magazine. Everything about the Featherweight is streamlined to prevent snagging on gear or brush. This is not just a tool for harvesting meat. It is a piece of American firearms history that is still earning its keep in the field today. Remington 783. Now let's talk about pure utility. The Remington 783 is purpose-built for the hunter who needs a tool that fires every time, without the premium price tag attached to the trigger guard. This bolt gun was Remington's answer to the demand for an affordable no-frills working rifle. It features a free-floating carbon steel barrel and a cylindrical receiver. But the secret sauce is the aluminum pillar bedding in the synthetic stock. That bedding locks the action in place and prevents accuracy-robbing shifts. It cuts out the fancy engravings, but it doubles down on function. The accuracy on the 783 is frankly surprising for this bracket. Inside practical hunting distances, this thing consistently punches sub-MOA groups. That is a level of precision you rarely see at this entry point. The trigger utilizes Remington's Crossfire system. It comes from the factory breaking at 3.5 pounds, but you have the freedom to dial that down to 2.5, or up to 5 pounds depending on your preference. That is a solid upgrade in flexibility compared to most budget-tier rifles. It feeds from a 4-round steel box magazine that sits flush, keeping the profile slick. And here is the reality check. The street price usually sits right around $450 for what you get in terms of pillar-bedded accuracy and trigger adjustability. The Remington 783 might just be the best value proposition for a 30-06 on the market. Savage 11, Saistao, 111 Trophy Hunter XP rounding out our list. We have the Savage 11/111 Trophy Hunter XP. Savage has built their entire brand on out-of-the-box accuracy and simple, robust engineering. That is exactly why it is a go-to choice for guys chasing whitetail and medium to large game. The barrel is fully free-floated from the receiver ring all the way to the muzzle crown. That floating ensures your zero stays true, even when the barrel heats up or you put tension on the forend with a bipod. The detachable magazine holds between 2 and 4 rounds depending on the specific caliber configuration. It is engineered for efficiency. Simple, reliable, and easy to load. But the real star of the show here is the AccuTrigger system. This trigger gives you a safe glass rod break with 0 creep and 0 over travel. The beauty is that you can customize the pull weight yourself without compromising the drop safety of the weapon. Speaking of safety, the rifle utilizes a 3-position tang safety. Position 1 locks the bolt and the trigger. Position 2 unlocks the bolt so you can unload the chamber safely, but the trigger stays dead. And Position 3 is fire mode. It is intuitive, tactile, and easy to operate with your thumb without breaking your firing grip. Savage also takes care of the end user with the accessories. They include the AccuTrigger adjustment tool and an Allen wrench right in the box, so you can fine-tune your scope rings and your trigger pull before you ever hit the range, straight out of the box. This 30-06 is ready to perform with minimal fuss. So, those are the 5 platforms we just ran through. Each one brings a specific set of advantages to the table if you are building a dedicated hunting rig or looking for that one rifle to last a lifetime. You need to consider the role. Do you need fast follow-up shots and recoil management? Then take a hard look at the semi-autos like the Ruger or the Bar. Are you doing day-long glassing sessions and need that one-shot precision? The Model 70 and the Savage are going to be your winners. Or do you want the best balance of raw value and versatility? The Ruger and the Remington earn that nod every day of the week. Drop your pick in the comments section below. Tell me which of these 6 you would shoulder for opening day. And tell me why. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, subscribe, comment. It really helps the algorithm and keeps the channel bringing you these real-world gear reviews. Stay safe out there. Keep your muzzle pointed in a safe direction, and keep that trigger finger indexed until you are on target.